Welcome to Your Vote, Your Voice, Eindhoven Chooses. I'm your host, Supriya Vij, and as Eindhoven prepares for the municipal elections on March 18th, many residents ask themselves, am I allowed to vote? What does City Council do? And how can my voice be heard? How the decisions are made? To address all these questions, today we are joined at the municipality by someone who works behind the scenes to make the local democracy function. The Raadsgriffier of Eindhoven, Mr. Jorrit Jongbloed. Welcome, Jorrit.
Thank you. Welcome in Eindhoven, and it's a pleasure to be in this show. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We met at a community event, and I heard you talking about how the City Council works. And I was struck by how clearly you broke down such a complex. I mean, some people feel it is a very complex topic. So because of this series, the election series, we are aiming to make information available to the residents that it is important to participate. And that's why we are here today. So for someone who is new to Eindhoven, what exactly is the City Council and what does it do?
It's more or less a local parliament. It's the parliament, the City Council of Eindhoven is your local parliament. They are elected by the inhabitants of Eindhoven. We will address later who is eligible to vote. And they are responsible and representatives of the people of Eindhoven and make all the policy and also control the executive board if they are doing their jobs right, to put it simple. That's what the City Council is.
So how is the City Council different for aldermen and mayor?
In Holland, since 2002, the executive board, the College of Aldermen and the Mayor, are separated from the City Council. Mm-hmm. Before that, they were included also in the City Council. So now they do proposals to the City Council, but they themselves, they don't vote for or against the proposal.
Okay, so in simple words, City Council decides and the alderman and mayor executes?
Yeah. That's right.
Okay. So many of our viewers have asked this question that how policies are made. But before we go into the policy development, I would like to know that what are the main policies or what are the bigger Eindhoven themes that are affecting the people here and especially for internationals?
Yes, that's of course up to the people themselves, which are most important topics for them. But if I look at the agenda, to make it a bit neutral for me as a city clerk to address, I see a lot of topics about mobility and specifically the way we are changing the way people transport themselves throughout the city or further. Mm-hmm. The statement is we don't want a car in the inner city. So how are we going to make that work? We have the energy transition. The city wants that we all use circular energy to make it more sustainable, of course. Other policies that are important for the people are, I guess, the cultural voorzieningen, we call them, and also the sports fields. Everyone wants housing, another important topic. But it all presses on the available area we have for these developments. And the city isn't bigger than it is. We don't have that much ground. So where to put all this voorzieningen, all these places where you can have cultural activities or sports fields. And also as internationals, some people like other sports than the main sports in Holland are. For example, what I found really interesting is when I bike to home, you see people with cricket bats, which is of course a big sports field. So that are topics that have to be addressed, I guess.
Yes, cricket,
and
badminton.
And can be of interest for the people.
Indeed. So, so how are policies developed, and how does this council influence those?
Well, the executive board is responsible to propose the policy. So they prepare it mainly. And of course, the city council can also address their own topics. But mainly you have the executive board propose with all their city clerks working for them. Mm-hmm. And they have a lot of participation in the city. For For example, if it goes about sports fields and where do we put them and what kind of sports do we want, of course they go to the people of Eindhoven to ask, okay, what do you need, what do you want, what do we have, what can we maybe stop, and what do we have to expand. And then they do a proposal, and then it goes to the city council. They put it on their agenda. People can come. They can send letters to influence the policy, but they also can come to a speak-in meeting. You get 5 minutes to address your topic. For example, I want a bigger soccer field in my neighborhood, or a playground for smaller children. And I only see these big developments with big sports fields, but I want something in the neighborhood for younger children. Then you get 5 minutes to address that topic. And then the city council has this meeting. They discuss, debate their point of view. And of course the aldermen respond. They reflect on the issues raised by the city council. Then we have the preparing meeting is finished. And it goes to the central meeting, the Raadsvergadering. And that's the decisive board meeting. And then that's where they vote for or against the proposal.
Okay, so if a resident participates, he writes letters or he attends the programs and he puts his input that this is what he wants, whether it is a great idea about the neighborhood or a complaint. In that case, how would he know that his input has made any difference? Is there any visible feedback loop where he can know that, this is what he has done, it is taking the next step?
We have 2 phases where you can have that influence. So in the policy development, as I said, you can already talk to the city clerks developing the policy proposal, and then they will always give you a reaction. Of course, sometimes it goes wrong, but normally they will address like, okay, we heard this was your point of view, we addressed it in this way, or unluckily we couldn't incorporate it in our policy proposal. Then the proposal is finished, it goes to the city council, and then with the city council, actually, to be fair, you have to follow the agenda and the discussion to see what happens. And normally people who come to speak in or send a letter, they get a reaction from the political parties themselves. Okay. Like, okay, we heard this and we think it's a great topic that you addressed. We're gonna try to adjust the proposal in this or that way. So then you have the one-on-one feedback. But of course you can also see it on live stream. Afterwards you can see it. You can read the newspaper. We see that in the Eindhoven Dagblad, the Dutch newspaper, the local newspaper, they follow quite closely our agenda and our meetings. Okay. And everything that's come up there, they address in the paper.
So if we take an example, for example, in 𝐕𝐸𝐽ven people, they have a problem of the parking. Like it is very close to Eindhoven Airport, and people have been parking on the street, and it is kind of inconvenient for them. And I think many residents have raised this question. So if they want to follow up, of course, they have to follow the agenda, or if somebody has written a letter, would he be addressed individually? And if something else, of course, if he's not happy, can they file a petition, or how can those things or concerns be addressed?
Yes, when you send in the letter to the city council normally decides that they ask the executive board to respond to the letter. Okay. Normally a city clerk would answer the letter by, well, it was on that and that time on the agenda, the city council decided this, and so you know the outcome of the policy making.
So there are no next steps which can be taken in case it is rejected, or
rejected in case the city council decided otherwise. Yes, there's no no, that's really a small portion where when you really think that the policy making progress was done wrong, so it was unlawful, then of course you can raise a complaint. Okay. But not because of just it was not the outcome I proposed. The best thing you can do is vote on March 18th.
So, Jorrit, let's talk about the voting moment. The ballot paper is huge, and then there is a red pencil. What happens if the person who is there to vote makes a mistake? Maybe he checks 2 boxes. Is his vote lost, or can he ask for another ballot paper?
Yeah, that's what he has to do. He has to ask for another ballot paper. So you get out of the box, go to the people of the polling station, tell them you made a mistake. They make the paper not usable anymore and give you a new fresh paper so you can tick 1 box and 1 big box only.
So that means even if, of course, be careful in the first time, but if a mistake is done, then your vote is not lost. And in case somebody, because we are in Eindhoven, we have professionals, people are traveling, some people might not be able to vote. So in that case, is proxy voting a possibility?
Yeah, of course. And in all these cases, someone already made the choice to go to vote, whether he does it himself or she does it herself or let it someone do. Yeah, that's possible. On your voting pass, which you receive home, which is also, if you receive a voting pass, that means you're eligible to vote. So the city checks that, and they only send your voting pass if you're eligible. On the front side, you find all the information. On the back side, that's where you can fill in your name and the one person that you allow to vote for you. One person can have 2 of those voting passes from other people. Mm-hmm. You bring them together with your own voting pass, your own ID, and a copy of the ID of the 2 people for who you vote. Okay. And in one time, you bring out 3 votes. 1 for yourself and 2 for the people that allowed you to vote. So voting by proxy.
That has to happen just one time when he's going and he or she's going. Yeah. And he cannot come back with the 2 votes. So it has to happen.
Yeah, it has to happen with your own vote. Otherwise, you're not eligible anymore to do the voting by proxy.
Even if you cannot vote and because of some personal reasons you're not able to make to the polling station, you can do a proxy voting, and you must participate and you must vote because your vote matters. So coming back to the municipality, are there some programs run by municipality to offer deeper into that how local democracy works? Are there some initiatives or the opportunities offered by the municipality?
Yes. In general, we have a guest of the City Council. Mm-hmm. You're welcomed by 2 members of the City Council, and they explain everything about the political process and how it's done, and how it's prepared, and what can be your influence. We receive you with a dinner, and then afterwards you join us, of course, in the City Council meeting. Okay. So all the theory you got earlier on in that evening, you can see it in practice in the city meeting.
Okay. And anything else which is...
Yeah, if you want to go a step further, we also have a program which is around 3 times in one period of 4 years of the City Council. Mm-hmm. It's called Political Active. Yeah. It's executed by ProDemos, and that's a national institute that works for democracy. Mm-hmm. And they explain everything about the task of the City Council, how it is to be a member of City Council, what you have to do. You can train a debate, you learn about the financials of the local government, which are quite complex. Mm-hmm. It's very different from business, for example, because of all the rules, of course, of transparency involved in that. It's like 6 or 8 sessions, and then you know everything about the local government.
Okay, so but are these in Dutch language, or are these international friendly in English as well?
We are very international friendly, but it is in Dutch. It is and we have had international guests who managed to follow it, and sometimes you have to translate a little bit. But yeah, they are in Dutch. Yes. Okay. And when you go to the guest of the City Council, most of our City Council members can translate the difficult parts in English.
Okay. Okay. And there is also, I heard something about every scholar, before they turn 18, they are invited.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the last time there were only 40% people who were eligible to vote came out to vote, which is a big concern, of course, because we want the city council to represent all Eindhovenaren. And then we started the initiative. The city of Eindhoven, started the initiative to have every schooler before his 18th in the city have a positive experience here. Younger kids play Democracy. So for one morning or afternoon, they are the city council and decide about the policy of Eindhoven in Democracy.
Isn't that very interesting?
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
yeah, and especially because they sit in the seats of the members of city council. They see the seat of the mayor, which is always impressive, of course. Yeah, and it really feels for them to be in the Tweede Kamer, the national parliament. So you always get the topics of who sits here and who sits there, and then you sit on the real seat. Yeah.
So
maybe we prepare them already for over 18 years.
But that's great, I think, because if we want to increase the percentage of people who are participating, this is also preparing them for future. And then also understand that whom they can vote for and which political parties are there. So this question is coming up many times, that if a party has 50 candidates, so are all of them electable?
Yeah, they are all electable. That's checked on beforehand. If you're on the ballot, you're electable.
But then how does it work?
We have 45 seats in the House. So let's say 150,000 people of Eindhoven are eligible to vote. 50% shows up. That makes 75,000 votes. And we have 45 seats. So if we split those 75,000 votes in 45, you need 1,667 votes to have one seat as a party. But then if you're on, for example, in your example, number 50, you need 25% of that total vote for one seat to overtake another person on the same list. So 25% of 1,676 is 417. So if someone in this theoretical number get 417 votes, he or she is elected.
So we've almost come to the end of this interesting conversation. So Jorrit, if there is one thing which you wish every resident, whether a newcomer or somebody who's born here, understood about the local democracy, what would that be?
It's about your life. It's about how your local neighborhood works. It's what you see when you get out of the door. Do you see cars? Do you see trees? Do you see bikers? Do you see playing kids? Do you see a school? That's all what this is about. And if you want to influence what you see when you step out of the door, please come out and vote on the March 18th. Be welcome.
So it is clear, being a resident of Eindhoven doesn't mean just living here. It is about participating. Whether you have lived here for 5 days or 5 years, you always have a seat at the table. Thank you, Jorrit, for showing us where those seats are. This is Your Vote, Your Voice, Eindhoven Chooses. I am Supriya Vij. Keep listening, keep engaged, and do not forget to vote on March 18th.